What's going on, y'all? Peter Griffin here. So now that Wuthering Ways has been out for over a year now, I think it's time we talk about the endgame. Because don't get me wrong, the Wuthering Ways endgame is still fun, but it definitely does have its problems. Like how some of the endgame content just feels very boring, very repetitive, the rewards not being the greatest, and it's just overall feeling very lackluster. Which is why I'm going to be going over all the endgame content that the game has to offer. I'm going to be giving my input on how they can fix and improve upon said endgame mode. So let's get started. Now starting off with the TOA, I do think the TOA is easily the best endgame content within Wuthering Waves. With how Kuro has been handling the TOA for the majority of Wuthering Ways' lifespan, there really hasn't been that many problems that I've seen personally. The only problem that I've seen consistently is the middle tower sometimes showing the new on-banner character, but it doesn't happen as consistently compared to modes like Whimpering Ways, which we're going to get into later. But the main reason for us of why I like the TOA so much, and I think other people would agree with this, is because of how well they balance it. The way how Kuro handles HP inflation in the TOA has been very well so far. There hasn't been any noticeable jumps or scales in HP, which I'm glad of. And with how the buffs in the TOA synergize with just about every character in the game, including every limited 5-star and even some of the 4-stars too. And because of how good these buffs are for every character in the TOA, you are still able to 3-star the middle tower and just about any tower with a lot of the old characters like Gion or Danjin if you wanted to. So the way how they handle HP inflation and the tower buffs, amazing. Now the only problems that I do have with the TOA are very little. The only thing that I would change is just the rewards for the shop. All I want them to do is just add data modifiers into the shop because I do have a lot of points saved up from the TOA and I have not used them simply because what's in the shop right now I just do not need. And the other problems that I did have with the TOA were actually answered by Kuro. And that was shown within the 2.6 live stream where they show that they're actually adding 2 new floors to the middle tower and they're adding floor skip to the TOA, which I am so glad that they're adding because those additions have been long overdue for the game. So overall, I have been very satisfied with what Kuro has been doing with the TOA and how they've been handling it, and I keep hoping that they keep pumping out this level of content with the TOA, and I can't wait to see what's to come. But the next can't be said for our next in-game mode. In that mode is Whimpering Ways, which they've done a overall very mediocre job at handling. And this mode just feels like a chore to play in all honesty. Like I do think in concept this mode isn't a bad idea, but with how Kuro has been executing this mode, it has been very lackluster and overall disappointing. With how much HP inflation has risen in this game, with how much the tokens in this game are very shilly and only work with the new on-banner unit, and with how the AI spread apart from each other in this game, this mode is just not fun. And single-handedly, the worst thing about this mode are the tokens. Because the past couple tokens that they've been using for the past couple WeWo resets, they've only been able to work with the on-banner units, and they don't work with any of the old units as well. And the 4-star tokens too in this game mode are honestly very laughable. The 4-star tokens that they do release, most of the time it ends up with 2 of them being really good and being able to synergize with every character on the roster, and then the rest just being absolutely useless or just being really bad. So whoever is designing the tokens for this game mode, they need to be straight up fired. Like I can't tell what's an ex-Hoyo in play with how bad these tokens are, but whoever is designing these tokens, fire them from Kuro Games. Matter of fact, no, just blacklist them from any video game company imaginable. But anyway, what they could do to fix Whimpering Ways is just tone down the HP inflation, because with how rampant the HP inflation in this mode is, this mode's gonna end up like Memory of Chaos from HSR, and we all know how that mode has ended up recently. What they could do to fix the tokens is actually make them more accessible to other characters and not just making them restricted to one character. So that way, even if they do decide to ramp up the HP inflation, other characters would be able to like still get a decent score in this game mode. And also they need to add a shop into this game mode because of how much with your time is wasted from playing Whimpering Ways. They need to give you better rewards. And the type of shop that they could add into this game mode would just be the shop from the TOA, where you can buy character XP, weapon XP, tuners, echo XP, which would benefit the player base by having their time not being wasted from playing this laughable game mode. So Whimpering Ways, if Kuro Games decides to actually lock in and fix this game mode, it could actually become good, but we would have to wait and see. So the only thing that we could do now is hope that they actually fix it, but the chances of that are kind of low, but we'll see. And now for the Elusive Realm, there really isn't much that I have to say for this mode. The roguelike gameplay that they have implemented into this mode and how it works has been very fun overall, and how you can use just about any character you want in this game has also been a very good thing as well. The rewards haven't been too bad in this mode as well. The only thing that I would change to the reward is just to add data modifiers as a reward, but that's pretty much it. The replayability in this game mode as well has also been very nice to see. And one thing I forgot to mention is how easy it is to obtain echoes within this game mode as well. And the fact that you can save all the echo drops that you can get into like a new Sonata set drops has been very amazing to see so far. And the only problem that I did have with this game mode has also been answered by Kuro, which was how you had to click each individual mission to claim in the Elusive Realm. And now you can just claim every single mission within one click. And I'm personally glad for that because having to click every individual reward after you clear the Elusive Realm was honestly kind of annoying. So I'm glad that they're fixing that. And overall, the Elusive Realm Not really much to say. Overall, a very fun mode, and I can't wait to see what comes more for this. And last we got the tactical holograms, in which this mode is just overall okay. And the reason I say is because there's really not that much of an incentive to play this mode. And I know this mode is mainly for the people who want to try and fight the bosses on max difficulty and test their skill, which I don't really have a problem with that. I do have a problem with the rewards though, because the rewards in this mode absolutely suck. And they need to make it where the reward shop actually changes about every month or like every 2 weeks, so people would actually have a reason to play this mode. And I don't know if it's just me, but some of the bosses in this game mode just feel like absolute hell to play against. Like when the Kelpie boss fight, the Thundering Methods, or the Giant Gorilla, when they start to summon clones of themselves, that's when the boss fight starts to get annoying. And it's overall just not a fun experience to get jumped by 2 bosses at the same time. And I feel like most people would agree with me on that statement. Now, what they could do to fix this game mode is by easily just making the rewards actually good. They could up the Astrolite count to maybe 40 instead of keeping it at 20. They could also add data modifiers as a reward, which I can guarantee you a lot of people would actually play this mode if they could get data modifiers because of how rare they are to get. And also up the Echo XP tuners that they get from this mode as well, because the fact that this mode only gives 1 is actually laughable. And it honestly feels a little bit disrespectful because of how annoying some of these bosses are, and the rewards are just that trash. Is just crazy in my opinion. So overall, Tactical Hologram isn't a bad mode. There just needs to be more of an incentive for people to play it, and they also need to make the rewards better and make the boss fights not as much annoying. And I'm not saying to make the boss fights easier. They can keep the boss fights hard. I'm just saying to not give them annoying mechanics such as clones, for example. And finally, if they could just make the shop rotate like every month or every 2 weeks, that would make the rewards also better as well. Now let's answer the final question. Is Wuthering Waves' endgame good? And in all honesty, yes, I do think Wuthering Waves' endgame is good. I don't think the endgame is anything crazy, but it's still fun in my opinion. Like the TOA and the Elusive Realm are still very fun modes to play. But then you have Whimpering Ways, which is just absolutely boring and just hell to play. And even though the endgame is good, it definitely does still have its flaws here and there, which I do think can be improved upon over time. For example, I think Whimpering Ways can actually become a very fun mode if they decide to not make the tokens shill one character and if they slow down the HP inflation. Because Whimpering Ways is a very fun mode in concept, I just think they need to work better on the execution for it. And for some endgame modes that they could add to the game, I do think Virtual Crisis becoming a permanent mode would actually be really cool to see. Because let's be honest, Virtual Crisis is one of the best events, if not the best event that Kuro has ever made in Wuthering Waves. And with the amount of people I've also seen requests for Virtual Crisis to be an endgame mode as well, it's shocking that it's not in the game yet. So I do hope that Virtual Crisis does get added into the game eventually. But what do you guys think of Wuthering Waves' endgame? Comment down below on whether you think if Wuthering Waves' endgame is either good or bad, and what could they improve upon further on. And with that, thank you for watching the video. And if you did enjoy watching the video, you want to see more content like this, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.